Hello friends, you've stumbled across a short clip from the Daily Switch 2 podcast, which, believe it or not, is a podcast that is about the Switch 2 with new episodes released daily. What will they think of next? Piscatella's statement ends at number 3, which is Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It's interesting to note that Tears of the Kingdom outsold Breath of the Wild, especially because it's $80 compared to Breath of the Wild at $10 less. But realistically, Breath of the Wild is a game that is, 8 years old or more? And diehard Nintendo fans may even have already bought and played it on both the Wii U and the Switch. And again, I'm one of those crazy people that buys every single version of every first-party game, even re-releases, and the same game on multiple systems. I just like to collect them. What I'd actually wager is that because many people didn't actually buy Tears of the Kingdom the first time around, it's easy to forget nowadays, but it was a controversial game at launch. Firstly, because it was their perception that it was just a glorified DLC for Breath of the Wild. Personally, I don't think that's fair or valid, but I can absolutely see how it can be argued, especially at the time, and if you don't actually play the game and you just look at trailers and the like. But the second big controversy, and the reason many stayed away, was it was Nintendo's first and only game to release at $70 on the Switch 1. $10 higher than the previous maximum. Combine that with the perception that it should have been DLC, and the fact that some people had a bit of Breath of the Wild fatigue, having played it for hundreds of hours, and Tears of the Kingdom didn't seem quite as tempting to a good amount of fans. But now that the dust has settled, now that it's well established that it's a good game and significantly different to the previous title, there will perhaps be a number of people who never bought the game on Switch 1 but are willing to give it a chance on their shiny new Switch 2. It would be interesting to know just how many copies it sold, though as it's below physical Mario Kart, despite that being the pack-in bundle, so little reason to buy it physically. And even below the third-party game, Cyberpunk, which is in a genre that wouldn't typically be played by Nintendo games or by Nintendo's core customer. It's safe to say that the numbers aren't enormous. So we have the two Zelda games, re-releases of older games, and we know that they sold even worse than the physical Mario Kart and Cyberpunk, a third party. And for whatever reason, Piscatella decided to mask whether Breath of the Wild was 4th place or embarrassingly outsold by another third party. But if I had to guess, though, I'd say it was in 4th place, close behind Tears of the Kingdom. And the reason it's not being promoted heavily is that it actually looks better for the industry as a whole if we don't make it obvious that third parties aren't selling very well. So having a third-party game named in between Mario Kart and Zelda in the top 3 looks great, until you realise it's only the physical copies of Mario and Zelda, and both of them have reason to suspect that they didn't sell very well in reality. Don't forget, around 20% of people didn't even buy one single game. And that's counting digital sales too. Well, that was funny /sad /informative /stupid, wasn't it? Feel free to mentally redact to make that make sense with the clip that you just heard. I don't know what it was. I'm just recording a bumper. But if you enjoyed the clip, please give it a like. If you'd like to hear more, click subscribe, and you can find all the ways to listen to and support the full daily podcast at linktree/dailyswitch2. That's linktr.ee/dailyswitch2. Let's go! Did I sound like I mean that? I do. I really do.